WEFT, we work with producers, trade bodies and partners to support businesses to be ready for Textiles EPR. There is a huge urgency to get this moving. We have the benefit of all of industry asking for it, and we need to make the most of this enthusiasm.
WEFT works with governments to help them understand how they can implement an EPR system that has eco-modulation at its heart. The monies collected from an EPR system are ring-fenced and that they are reinvested back into industry for things like infrastructure that are much needed. And we also have to have it eco-modulated so that good products are put on the market and they are incentivised by commercial means. And it all has to be within this government term.
Textiles EPR would ideally solve a problem of which we are producing products that are going on the market that are either of low quality or poor recyclability, but also address sort of high consumption levels and high sort of waste of products. So people not utilising products to their capabilities and thus being thrown away down the wrong channels in which they can't be recycled or sorted and then put back into the stream. So Textiles EPR would be looking to support the infrastructure that at that end of life stage, but also address the flows of textile that are coming into that feed.
So currently the UK lacks an infrastructure for collection, sorting of waste textiles and the recycling, both mechanical and chemical, on a scale. So with EPR, if funds were collected, they could be ring-fenced to enable that infrastructure to exist. That's everything from automated sorting to then fibre-to-fibre recycling, which will enable brands like ourselves to be able to have that in our products. At the moment, there's just no infrastructure available. So if the fees were collected, that would enable that infrastructure to exist.
There is no point having a system that just either taxes large companies and doesn't help SMEs. SMEs are the vast number of businesses. The biggest number of businesses in our industry are SMEs and micros. It's about 80%, 85% of all companies in the UK are micros and SMEs. So we need to make sure a legislative system for Textiles EPR works for them. Now, we've done work with WEFT and with a number of SMEs to see whether their data systems are good enough to deal with the Textiles EPR system. And actually they are. And in some cases, they're better than big retailers, predominantly because they are much more closely involved in their product than necessarily big retailers are. But we have to ensure that all parts of the supply chain are brought into an EPR system and that the administrative burdens, for instance, aren't so big that SMEs drown in the admin requirements, but we also need to make sure that the funds raised support move to more circular design principles in SMEs and in micros that support the development of innovation in micros in SMEs as well.
We need support from government and from industry bodies, definitely, to succeed under EPR. It needs to be collaborative. We need to have something that's agile and connected and gives us a really clear layout of what is wanted, what is expected from us. From industry bodies, we would hope to have training and support and to really have a framework that everyone can buy into, that we understand what the remit is. And we would hope from larger companies, larger organisations, that there's collaboration, that they're really clear and transparent about how they're going about things so we can learn best practice and share across industry.
Quite simply, a Textiles EPR system in the UK could leverage a significant amount of funding to grow the infrastructure that's needed to deal with the mountain of textile waste that we create here in the UK. Industry is already behind the concept of a Textiles EPR. The work that we've been doing with WEFT, with BRC and with the British Fashion Council has brought together the industry to all agree on the need for an EPR and the way that an EPR should operate.